Joy is not something that randomly falls into our laps when life is good. It's not a rare emotion reserved for the lucky few who happen to have all their dreams come true. Joy is a deliberate choice, a posture of the heart, a decision that we make every single day, regardless of the circumstances we face. Many people live waiting for joy to strike them like lightning, hoping that someday they'll just wake up feeling joyful because life finally lined up perfectly. But the reality is, if we live like that, we give away all our power. We become prisoners to circumstances, tossed back and forth by things we cannot control. True joy, the kind that lasts and sustains us through the storms, is not a reaction to what's happening outside of us. It's a decision we make deep within. Choosing joy doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means acknowledging the full weight of what's happening, the struggles, the heartaches, the disappointments, and still deciding that they do not get the final say over your spirit. It means waking up in the morning, even on the hard days, and saying, today I choose to see the good. Today I choose to believe that something beautiful is still being written. Today I choose to rejoice, not because everything is easy, but because I know who I am and where my hope lies. This kind of decision is powerful because it shifts the center of gravity. No longer are we at the mercy of what life throws at us. No longer do we have to wait for good news to smile or for a breakthrough to feel peace. When we make the choice to rejoice, we reclaim the authority over our own hearts. We decide that the condition of our soul will not be dictated by the condition of our surroundings. This decision, repeated day after day, shapes the atmosphere of our lives. It builds resilience, it strengthens character, it creates a life that shines with hope, even in the darkest seasons. And make no mistake, it's not always easy. There will be days when choosing joy feels like the hardest thing to do. But it's precisely on those days that it matters the most. When you choose joy in the midst of pain, you are doing something extraordinary. You are pushing back against fear, against despair, against hopelessness. You are declaring that your spirit is stronger than your struggle. Joy is not passive. Joy is not accidental. Joy is a daily, sometimes hourly, courageous choice. And every time you choose it, you are planting seeds for a life that flourishes no matter what storms may come. Life is full of change. Seasons shift, people come and go, success can turn into struggle in the blink of an eye. If our joy is tied to things that constantly move and change, we will find ourselves on an emotional roller coaster, up one moment and crashing down the next. This is the mistake so many people make. They anchor their sense of peace and happiness to things that were never meant to carry that kind of weight. They anchor it to a career, a relationship, a dream, a bank account, or a personal achievement. And when life inevitably changes, when the job is lost, when the relationship hits trouble, when plans fall apart, their joy sinks with it. But there is another way. Real, unshakable joy is found when we anchor ourselves to something that doesn't move when the storms come. Something eternal, something stronger than circumstances, more solid than the shifting ground of life. This is the secret. True joy is rooted in truths that never change. Your identity, your purpose, your worth, these are not up for negotiation based on what happens to you. You are valuable, loved, chosen, and purposeful even on your worst day. Even when you fail, even when life feels like it's falling apart. And when we understand this, we stop living at the mercy of what's happening around us. We develop a kind of resilience that confuses the world. People will look at you and wonder how you are still standing, how you are still smiling, how you are still full of life when everything seems against you. It's because you learn to anchor deep. You learn that your joy is not based on a perfect life, but on an unchanging foundation that nothing, no failure, no disappointment, no loss can take away. Think about a ship in the middle of a violent storm. Without an anchor, the ship is tossed violently by every wave, helpless against the forces around it. But with a strong anchor buried deep into the ocean floor, that ship can withstand the storm. It may rock and sway, but it will not be destroyed. In the same way, when your soul is anchored to unchanging truths, You may feel the pressure. You may experience the winds and waves of life, but you will not be destroyed. You will not lose your joy. This is the freedom that comes from anchoring joy in what is eternal. It means no matter what changes around you, there's a peace and a strength inside of you that remains steady. It means you can walk through fire and come out singing. It means you can face loss and still see beauty. Because your joy isn't tied to the outcome. It's tied to something that never ever fails. The way we see our circumstances has a powerful effect on how we live through them. Perspective shapes everything. Two people can walk through the exact same hardship and come out with completely different stories. One may be crushed under the weight of disappointment, while the other emerges stronger, wiser, and more full of life than ever. The difference isn't in the hardship itself. It's in how they chose to see it. When we learn to shift our perspective, we unlock the secret to rejoicing even in the middle of pain. We realize that hardship is not an enemy sent to destroy us, but often a disguised invitation to grow, to deepen, and to experience a level of life and joy we would never have touched otherwise. Pain is not meaningless when you choose to see it through the right lens. Every struggle you face can either be a weight that crushes you or a weight that strengthens you, depending on your perspective. When we see trials as preparation rather than punishment, we start to approach them differently. We begin to understand that growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Diamonds are only formed under intense pressure. Gold is refined through fire. Great strength is only born out of great resistance. What if the very thing you're resenting right now is the thing that is building in you the character and capacity to carry the dreams you've been praying for? Shifting perspective doesn't mean denying reality. It means choosing to believe that even in the hardest seasons, good things are being worked out beneath the surface. It means trusting that the setbacks are setups for something greater. It means seeing the delay not as a denial, but as preparation for something you aren't ready to carry yet. When we adopt this mindset, we move from being victims of our circumstances to victors through them. We stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? Perspective transforms our response. It turns complaints into gratitude. It turns fear into faith. It turns despair into hope. And when that transformation happens inside of you, rejoicing becomes natural. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've learned to see purpose even in imperfection. You've learned that every moment, even the painful ones, is shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. When you shift your perspective, you realize that joy isn't about escaping pain. It's about finding meaning in it. It's about trusting that nothing is wasted. It's about believing that every trial is carving out more space in your heart to hold deeper joy, greater peace, and unshakable hope. And when you live like that, rejoicing no matter what becomes not just possible, it becomes inevitable. One of the most life-changing habits is practicing gratitude. Every single day, no matter how difficult life feels, there is always something to be thankful for. When you deliberately look for the good, you retrain your brain to focus on abundance rather than lack. It could be something as small as the warmth of the sun on your face, a kind word from a friend, the simple fact that you made it through another day. Two. Gratitude shifts your attention from what is missing to what is present. And where gratitude grows, joy naturally follows. Another powerful practice is speaking life over yourself and your situation. Words have creative power. Every morning, before the world has a chance to fill your mind with fear and anxiety, you can choose to declare truth. You can speak joy over your life even when you don't feel it yet. You can say, today is a gift. I am strong. I am blessed. I have everything I need to overcome. When you speak these declarations, you're not denying your reality. You're defining your posture. You are choosing to frame your day with faith rather than fear. Serving others is another incredible way to cultivate joy. When life feels heavy, the natural tendency is to turn inward, to focus on our own struggles. But something beautiful happens when we shift our attention outward and begin to meet the needs of others. Acts of kindness, whether big or small, have a profound way of lifting not just the recipient's spirit, but your own. In giving joy, we often find it multiplying back to us in ways we didn't expect. Cultivating joy, it's about being proactive. It's about setting your mind, your words, and your actions toward hope, even when life gives you every reason to despair. These practices, consistently lived out, build a reservoir of strength inside you. They prepare you to face any storm with a heart that knows how to sing in the rain. Joy doesn't come from waiting for better circumstances. It comes from daily planting seeds of gratitude, faith, and love. Seeds that, over time, grow into a life that knows how to rejoice no matter what. There is a special kind of strength that is born when we choose to rejoice right in the middle of trials. It's easy to celebrate when everything is going well, when the doors are opening, when the blessings are flowing. But real power is revealed when you can lift your head, lift your voice, and lift your heart even when nothing around you gives you a reason to. When you choose to rejoice in the middle of pain, you are making a declaration that your spirit is stronger than your situation. You are announcing to yourself, to the world, and even to every force that comes against you, that you are not defined by your struggle, you are defined by your source of joy. There is something incredibly magnetic about people who can hold their peace and joy in the midst of chaos. They inspire others without even trying. When people watch you walk through hardship without losing your light, they will want to know your secret. They will lean in closer. They will realize that you have tapped into something they are desperately searching for. Your rejoicing becomes a testimony. It becomes a silent but powerful message that says, hope is real, strength is available, joy is possible even here. And the truth is, some of your greatest growth will not happen on the mountaintops of life, but in the valleys. It's in the pressing that new wine is produced. It's under pressure that diamonds are formed. It's through the fire that gold is refined. Every trial carries within it the potential for transformation, but it's your choice to rejoice that unlocks that potential. When you rejoice in trials, you are not ignoring the pain. You are transcending it. You are stepping above it. You are choosing to see not just the pain, but the promise hidden inside of it. There is also an authority that comes from walking through storms and refusing to let the storm enter you. People who have rejoiced through suffering carry a different kind of weight to their words. They speak not just from theory, but from experience. Their joy has been tested and proven true. It's not shallow, it's not fragile, it's deep, it's authentic, and it's contagious. Choosing to rejoice amid trials doesn't just change your story, it changes the atmosphere around you. It releases hope, it builds resilience. It reminds you that you are more than a conqueror, not because you avoided battles, but because you triumphed through them. Rejoicing in trials is not weakness, it is the ultimate display of strength. It is living proof that even in the darkest places, light still shines and joy still reigns